Incoming storm for the 175 grain Hornady Flex Lock Critical Duty. So I gotta make this quick. I don't have the means to keep this camera from getting soaked in the rain. Doing some testing with the Critical Duty 175 grain Flex Lock. We have your 3-inch barrel. I do believe it's 3.43 inch barrel. Let's say 3.5. Easy math. 4-inch. For easy math, 4.5. 5-inch. Let's see how it does in gel. So if it does well here on first round, we'll go to round 2. If it doesn't do well, it's out of here. Unless you guys want to see more testing with less clothing. This is the FBI heavy clothing barrier. So if you want me to downgrade it, say with a layer t-shirt or 2 layers t-shirt or whatever you want, you can let me know. But if it doesn't pass this, for the price stuff that is, I'm gonna pass. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, Hornady Critical Defense 175 grain. First up, M&P Shield, 10 feet, 3-inch barrel.
$9.46, $9.32, $9.24.
All right. Next up, Glock 27 with its 3.43 inch barrel. Here we go.
$9.54, $9.46, $9.55.
Glock 23.
$9.82, $9.72, $9.74.
All right, last but not least, Glock 22. What's almost 4.5 inch barrel.
$10.20, $10.19, $10.08.
All right, that's a wrap. Okay, let's see how this regular UMC 180 grain velocities match up to this 175 grain Critical Duty. So your entry-level ammo versus your more boutique expensive ammo. Stand by. $10.30, $10.42, and $10.40. Okay. All right, last velocity for the UMC was 1040. Now for the Hornady Critical Duty 175 grain Flex Lock. Again with the XD with the 5-inch barrel. $10.61, $10.27, duplicate 1027. And 1016. Okay. Okay, from the top. So the velocities I got with the M&P shield with its 3.1 inch barrel, velocity I got is 934 with 339 foot-pounds of energy. The Glock 27 with its 3.43 inch barrel, I got a velocity 952 and 352 foot-pounds of energy. Bump it up, the Glock 23 with its 4 inch was 976 and I got 370 foot-pounds of energy from the muzzle. Glock 22 with its 4.49 inch barrel, I got 1015 and 4-in-1. And then last but not least, we had the 5-inch barrel XD at a velocity of 1035 and 416 foot-pounds energy. So for comparison, for this year UMC Jacket Hollow Point, we had out of the M&P shield. So with the 175 grain Critical Duty, you got 934 or 339 foot-pounds energy. With the 180 grain UMC, we got 931 from a velocity, and then 346 for the energy. And then when you use XD, the 180 grain. So if you go back to the Critical Duty, it was 1035 and 416, 175 grain. With the UMC Jacket Hollow Point, we got 1037 and 430 foot-pounds energy. Woody Smith & Wesson Critical Duty. First up, we'll be using this XD 40 that has the 5-inch barrel. We'll see how this round fares in the gel. And then we're going to be using the FBI heavy layer clothing. Well, we got some leakage. Let's see, did it go out the side or did it go all the way through? Looks like it went out the side. But unless that's tumbling, it's not a bad wound track. So get some more water bottles to try it again. Okay, with the XD, this wound track, looks like it did expand. I'll have to keep looking, but it exited the block right about 14 inches. So I'll keep looking in the berm, but for now I can't find it. So I'm gonna move on and take a second shot with XD with its 5-inch barrel. Again, with the Critical Duty. That's a nice wound track, the best I've seen with a... There's the bullet. Let's see, did this thing expand? Looks like it did. Okay, so I'll leave that there for now. So if the block is 16 inches, it's probably gone at least 17. All right, we'll pull that out. Okay, so next, this is still the Critical Duty out of the Glock 22. This is for my buddy Kay. You want to know how this would work for home defense, since he has quite a few of these boxes, and to be honest, I've never really tested any hollow points out of this to see what would work out of this, but the Critical Duty is not a hollow point. see how this does. Now the gel. Okay, stand by. Glock 22. Okay, again with the Critical Duty, the Glock 22. It's that bottom track here with the FBI heavy clothing barrier. Ended up lying at the wound track goes all the way to 19, and then it looks like the bullet bounced back about 18 and a half. So there you go. Let's try the Glock 23. The Glock 32 with a barrel swap, so it's going to be standing in for a Glock 23 with 4-inch barrel. For you 9mm guys, that's basically the same. This is the same gun as your Glock 19. Just okay. Top wound track. You can see it burnt the gel there. Move along, looks like it tumbled. And there lies the bullet. It does not look expanded. So, if that's the case, I mean, I can downgrade it to some lower, some t-shirt and whatnot to see if it worked there, but if it's not going to work out of that, it's no use using my Glock 27 or the 3-inch M&P shield. So, without, unless you guys say it otherwise, that you want to see more testing now, the Glock 23, I think you need to stick with the Glock 22, so 4.5-inch barrel and up for this round to expand. But let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to give this some more testing. Okay, again, so with these Glock 23, you're following that wound track there. It's like the bullet went about 22 inches and it did not expand, looks like, in the slightest. So there you go. Okay, storm's coming in, so I'm kind of in a hurry. So this was the Glock 23 into the gel. Yeah, that was about 22 inches. Let's get that, pull that out for you. This firm that really didn't much of any expanding. Sorry, I got the cameras in the way, so I'm trying to get you guys a good view. It's not helping my cause here. But guys, get you a good shot. What's going on? Yep, that's a no-go for me. You see, it looks like some denim stuck on there. So this little plug didn't really help the cause on this very much. So anyway, that's a no-go. But it did look more promising with this, so let's see how that round did. Stand by. Okay, with the Glock 22, let's see how this round performed. It looked like it did expand, so. So, it did expand. Obviously this round is some pretty hard lead. It's meant to go through auto glass, doors, and other barriers. So, it did its job. It looked like it actually had a nice wound track. So my buddy K, if you want to use this for home defense, looks like you can use it if that's what you got. Okay, let's see how the 5-inch barrel did. Stand by. Okay, the channel hero that let me. Whoop, wind's causing damage here. One sec. Okay, for the channel hero that let me borrow this XD with the 5-inch. Let's see how that round performed. Out of the XD. Okay. Polymer tip just filled right out. So we'll put it back in there. So, well, here you go. Here's a view with expansion. So, this round, as I don't think it's really designed to, it doesn't seem to expand a whole lot. It's meant to be some pretty tough lead to hold up some pretty tough barriers. So, but it does the job. It actually seemed to leave a pretty nice wound track. So we'll get you some better measurements here. But Glock 23 barrel, 4 layers FBI clothing, that's a no-go. But if you have the Glock 22, if it's, let's say, 4.5 and a 5-inch barrel, it looks like you're in business. Okay, so for the wrap up on this Hornady Critical Defense Flex Lock 175 grain, did well out of the Glock 22, the XD with the 5-inch barrel, but I was kind of surprised it didn't do so well out of the Glock 23. I would expect it better, but it is what it is. I have seen other channels where it did work well, but it was not for me that day. So we will have round 2 with some meat and ribs with the Paul Harold method, and possibly some other gel shots with either 4 layers of denim. And my buddy K wanted to see this in a more typical of our area, which is 2 layers of heavy t-shirts, since a good part of the year it's 95 to 100 degrees. And also he wanted to see how this Defender PDX works, and also this 180 grain gold dot. And we also have this unknown round at this time. We're trying to figure out what it is he bought, and he threw the box away because he stores them in cans. So we'll see what that is. Please stay tuned. If you could subscribe and give it a thumbs up, that would really help me out. And thank you for watching. God bless.